Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome to some Star Wars Battlefront. Finally, we get to see a little bit of footage. Well, this is not actual gameplay, still it's a good indication what the game is going to be like when eventually we get to see some gameplay. Hopefully we'll see some gameplay at E3 and a full demo and all that sort of good stuff. While there's some really exciting news, there is some disappointing news for the original fans. If you've not played this game when it first came out, which I did in 2005, it's like Battlefield 2. You know, if you played the game back in those days and you picked it up maybe even a year later or something like that with that kind of graphic and that kind of fidelity what it was back in those days, it's never going to be one like it. You know, regardless of what you do to the game, it's just never going to be one like it. It's always going to live in your memory as that one great game that you played when you were a kid or when you were younger or whatever. Nevertheless, there's still some exciting news that even though it's been 10 years since Battlefront 2 got released, there's still some cool things coming back. The multiplayer we know is going to be Hoth, Endor, Tatooine, and Solus. AT-ATs are coming back, the Fire Blasters, the Speed Bikes, the Snow Speedsters, Darth Vader, Boba Fett. Who knows how many more characters they're going to have in, but they've not yet unveiled. The TIE Fighters, the X-Wings, the Millennium Falcon, you know, all that's going to be back in. And that's really exciting for somebody that played the original series to see these coming back to life in a Frostbite 3 engine. It's going to look really cool. I know for a fact that they're going to look really good. But on the other side, the disappointing things, or the worrying things, let's just call them, there is no single player campaign, and I don't understand why they're not doing this, because I mean they've done single player to a lot of the games and they could easily done something like this. But at the same time I understand why, because if they would have gone in a different direction with the Star Wars sort of franchise, everybody would hate on it and go, hey, that's not right, they didn't do it right there. So maybe that's one of the reasons why they're not actually doing a single player, even though you can still play a little bit of single player with a buddy of yours in co-op mode. There is no Galactic Conquest mode, which is it's Battlefront 2, you know, that has to be in there. It's like saying there's no Conquest in Battlefield. The max player count has been set to 40. We're yet to find out if there are going to be any bots, if there are going to be all sorts of AI controlled units on the ground. We're yet to see that kind of information, but I'm hoping there's going to be plenty of those, because the map sizes are probably going to be really big, and 20v20, it's not going to be too exciting. And we know that's going to be 4 planets. How many maps are going to have in those planets, we don't know yet. And the only units and characters from the original trilogy will be featured. We know that as well. And also the AT-ATs are not going to be player controlled. They're going to be more or less Levolution. They're going to follow a certain path through the battlefield, and that's pretty much it. So that's kind of the information that we know so far. I know there's been a little gameplay seen by a couple of people, but they're not allowed to actually show any footage. But it's not going to be long before we get to see some gameplay. E3 is only around the corner and we'll get to see a little bit more. And the last thing that they announced is the Battle of Jakku, which is a downloadable content. It's going to be free for you to get. It's going to be a week early on some sort of platform. And we get to play 2 maps on that planet, and also we get to learn a little bit more about the Battle of Jakku before we get to see The Force Awakens. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video. Let me know who you're going to fight for, and I will see you guys in the next one. Out.